So the Houston Rockets have a lot of very interesting young pieces. We got Jalen Green, obviously. We got KPJ, who's still pretty much an experiment at the point guard position. We got, Usman Garuba, who is going to be out for a little bit because of a wrist injury, and it looks like he's going to need some surgery on it. So, and now that report was just exactly a few minutes ago. So, pretty bad news for Usman Garuba, but he has a lot of defensive potential. We all know what Şengün and Josh Christopher can do, but the center of this video today is going to be actually someone that isn't even playing with the roster right now, and someone who's on a two-way contract in Daishen Nix for the RGV Vipers. So what's up? I'm JDC. Today we're going to be talking about why you shouldn't sleep on Daishen Nix and why he could be a potential bench piece for the Houston Rockets team that could need a backup point guard in the future. So before we get into the video, I'd appreciate if you guys drop a like and press the sub button. 5K by the end of this year, we'll make it happen. But appreciate the love, appreciate the support, and getting into the video, Daishen Nix. The reason I chose to do a video on him is because I've seen a lot of posts on Twitter and on Instagram talking about him being the player of the week in the G League, and this week alone he averaged I think 28 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and 3 steals on 50% from the three, which is pretty crazy in itself. Because Daishen Nix coming out last year, he was playing with the G League Ignite, with Jalen Green and Jonathan Kuminga, and he didn't average too many points. If we're looking at it overall, 9 points per game, shooting around 17% from 3 and 38 from the field. And then looking at it right now with the RGV Vipers, from 19 points per game, shooting 45 from the field and 38 from 3 overall this season in just 19 games played too. So Daishen Nix, the thing I like about his game is that he has a pretty big body frame. And if you watch the games for the RGV Vipers, some highlights, and you can just see that he uses his big body frame to really, post up. Well, not even post up, but contort his shots whenever he's going into the lane or driving for a layup. He just uses that big body frame to really just protect the ball. And that's one of the biggest parts about his game, is that he's a pretty, he's a pretty big guard. If I look up his overall, or not overall, but if we're looking at it overall, so Daishen Nix, his overall measurements, he is 6'3", and if we're looking at his weight, Daishen Nix is 6'3" and 227 pounds, so pretty big guard, and honestly, he could be pretty valuable off the bench. Augustine, comparing him to Augustine, he's obviously way taller and a little bit more heavier, which definitely gives us an advantage, because the Rockets, they play small sometimes, obviously the 2019 Rockets with PJ Tucker at the 5, but that's all in the past, and now we run Christian Wood, who's 6'10", 215 pounds at the center, Jae'sean Tate, 6'4", at the power forward position. So running Daishen Nix off the bench, who is a big guard and someone that can actually shoot the ball lights out, would be a pretty great benefit for this team overall. And he also is throwing in 2.4 steals over the season, which is the huge thing about his game too, because not only is he great offensively, but defensively he can show that he can play some defense. Now, the only real downside to his game is free throw. 56 from the free throw was really horrible, but his other shooting splits are fine. 46 from the field, 38 from 3, not too bad. Just really free throw percentage is the only thing, but everything about his game other than the free throw is already looking pretty polished. Now I'm really just waiting for the day until they call him back up from the G League. I think he has a lot of potential. The Rockets, they don't really have too many minutes to work around with, playing all 4 of their rookies. They already got a lot of minutes going to Jalen Green and KPJ, Christian Wood, Eric Gordon, Jae'sean Tate, Garrison Matthews, Şengün, Christopher. They got all these guys playing. And, with Daniel Tice, Nwaba, and Augustine, being on the door out, I think, honestly, Garuba and Nix could be next up to get some minutes. Honestly, it really just depends on what they trade them for. If they're trading them for some young assets, then I don't really see them getting minutes. But most likely, it's going to be a second-round pick, which would be pretty beneficial for us in the future, obviously. But I just really want to see Daishen Nix ball, because in the games he has been playing in the NBA, he hasn't been getting too many minutes. Now, I remember one game he had I think it was 12 points or something like that. I forgot what it was, but he played fairly well. I want to say nothing too great. Over the 8 games played this season, 8 minutes per game on 4 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, on 65 from the field and 43 from 3, which actually isn't all that bad. These are pretty okay stats for someone that doesn't get a lot of minutes, but we need a bigger sample size for him to really show what he can do on the basketball court. Now, it's really just a matter of if he's going to get some minutes and not a matter of if he can ball, because I think we all know he can ball. Daishen Nix, I watched a little bit of him in the G League Ignite last year. He definitely took that huge step to become, a better player this season, and being that backup point guard or even running the 3 at best. I don't even know, honestly, because he's 6'3", 227 pounds. He could run the 3 if he wanted to. He would be a little bit undersized like Eric Gordon, but he could run it. He could run probably 1, 2, 3. It really just depends on if the Rockets really want to play him overall, because, they have Şengün, Garrison Matthews, they have Josh Christopher coming off the bench. I don't even know. They have Augustine, who doesn't even play, Nawaba, Tice. All 3 of those guys don't play. Garuba's going to be out for a little bit. So Daishen Nix, I feel like a call-up is definitely going to be on the horizon soon. Steven Silas, I think, did praise him on Twitter, talking about Daishen Nix's stats this week and, being named Player of the Week. So hopefully we can see some Daishen Nix minutes in the next few weeks, and hopefully we can just see what he can do on the basketball court, because I think he has a lot of potential, My boy Matt Vento is pretty high on this dude, so hopefully he can just display some skill on the court pretty soon. So that's the video. I'm JDC, and I'm out. Peace.